Alrighty guys, Azik here, bringing you guys another Dragon Ball Legends TOP guide video. This is going to be in regards to season 113, possibly one of the last few seasons we have before they do the revamp. Probably going to do another video talking about that, talking about my thoughts on that, but in the meantime, well, just to give you guys the gist of it, they're removing tiers and they're removing TOP kits. I know that sounds weird. What I think they're going to do is they're going to make it more manual, where you're actually going to be playing with your units, right? You're going to be using the character against some sort of AI. Doomgeta even said he thinks it's going to be like just another version of USTR, which definitely is what it feels like from the wording, but we have to go ahead and wait and see. Anyways, disregarding that for now, last season we ended off at rank 5,990. Which is really good. This is the team that we used last season, which was the Saiyans. I had a lot of fun with it. Hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun with it too. That being said, we are going to be continuing with shouting out Doomgeta and friends, right? Aflac, Fuck, Bread, all those guys, GMC, everyone in the Discord server. Thank you so much for making these videos what they are and basically bringing them to you guys to make them give you guys as much help as possible, right? If you guys want to show them some love and some support, there's some Discord links in the description down below. One of them is to the unofficial Dragon Ball Legends Discord, and the other one is to Doomgeta's owned Discord server, the Celestials. Both of those Discords, you can find tons and tons of resources for TOP. And as always, there will always be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. First things first, we have the pathing, right? So part 1, left-hand side, part 2, right-hand side. Pretty straightforward process right here. The warning signs, that's going to be your most difficult fights for the season. There's only a total of 4, 2 in each half, which is actually pretty good. When you only have 2 in each half, I think that it's very salvageable because everything else kind of comes easily. And remember, this is color-coded for you guys. That way you guys can see exactly where to bring out your high-tier units, right? For the most part, we recommend 2 S tiers with the Z tier or double Z tier, right? You want a good, like a 30% bonus. And so basically in the first half, you could see the path is just white or gray, right? So you don't have to bring any of your high tiers out during that entire portion, right? Once you get into the orange, the purple, the red, that's when you'll start seeing your win streak bonus increase exponentially, right? And there's a graphic in the middle of the screen right here to show you exactly just how much it increases. Remember, you will not be getting the full 25 win streak bonus if you land on a yellow tile or a green tile, or if you get your whole streak reset by losing a fight. So next we have the color wheel. This is only pertaining to the 4 difficult fights that we mentioned previously. So threatening reds, there's a total of 5 of them, 0 yellows, 3 purples, 2 greens, and 3 blues. So as you can see, purples are in a phenomenal place right now because there's not a lot of yellows that are really going to stomp you, right? For yellows, if you're bringing in a lot of yellows, it might be a different story, right? Because there's 5 threatening reds. Specifically, that Super 17 Saga fight. If you come up with any red or any yellow at all, he has a chance to double attack that unit. Super 17 feeds off of going up against yellow units. So if you bring 3 of them, 3 yellow units in, and you're forced to bring one of those in, you're going to be scared for that unit, right? So I probably wouldn't recommend heavy on the yellow. But I truly believe that even if you brought in like mono purple, you could go ahead and skate away with that, you know what I mean? As long as you had some like tag units sprinkled in there as well. So next we have the cover predictions. So for strike predictions, there's about 4 strike covers, 1 nullification for a total of 5 strike-based related things. And then for blast, there's 4 cover changes and 2 nullifications for a total of 6. And then 1 universal cover change, right? And that's going to be on the Super 17 fight because of the Legends Limited 4 coup. So for strike teams are actually, for the first time in what feels like forever, they're a little bit at an advantage right here, right? Just a tiny one, right? 5 versus 6, but it's nice to see. It's rare to see. So strike teams rejoice. All right, so now let's talk about our pathing a little bit right here. So this is, I believe, the 3rd fight you come across. Nothing special about this fight. Bujin will stun you on turn 2. So just go for him turn 1 and you'll be golden. Probably another decently prioritized unit is going to be the Goku because of transformation stats. And then Bojack, you actually don't really have to worry about that, even though he's kind of new, because he's strong when his allies are alive, right? So once he gets down to 4 or less allies remaining, he's going to become significantly weaker. Next, you have this fight right here. Generally, I would say that the Legends Limited Cooler, the Thouser, and the Green Cooler are going to be your high priority targets right here, and then you go for the purple cooler last, because once you hit him, he buffs his Sagas from the movie's allies. So next you have this fight. This is one of your difficult fights right here. It's kind of hard to say exactly who you're going for first, especially you have super attacks built up, right? But obviously the units that should be highlighted are highlighted for a reason. This Ultra Vegeta, he doesn't have a strike cover or anything like that, but he has a strike nullification. So once you strike him, he ends up blocking it, and then he debuffs you, right? This guy has a blast cover plus a chance to double attack. They both have a chance to double attack, by the way, both of those two, but the blue one has a blast cover. This guy has a strike cover plus insane death debuffs. He's like mid priority, right? He could also build up a super attack. This guy has debuffs for you as well, which is unfortunate. So those four, I would say, are guaranteed highlighted units right there. This guy he has a strike cover, which is unfortunate, and this guy is just a nothing burger. He kind of just sucks. Next, you have this fight up here. It's not the double stun, so Beerus is the only one that's stunning you, but this purple Whis is going to be debuffing your key restore speed, so don't be surprised if your opponents are faster than you, and you're like, what the hell? Why are they faster than me? They're never faster than me on this fight. It's because this is the free-to-play Whis, not the premium one. I think it's actually easier to go up against the double stun version of this than this guy, because his debuffs are pretty powerful, but so yeah, I'll probably go for the Beerus first and then the Whis. So next you have this Game Originals fight right here. The only unit that I really want you to take note of is the Goku and Bardock. They will get 100% to their special move gauge if you special move them, right? So if you have a turn 1 super attacker and you are not sure that it's going to kill the Goku and Bardock, they are pretty tanky, right? They will survive it and get 100% to the special, hit it right back on you, right? So definitely just be cautious about that. Next, you have this fight right here. Pretty easy fight. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken does have a super on turn 2. So you're just going to go ahead and get him out of the way before he gets that off. And then you probably go for a hit since he does have a strike cover for someone usually. And then probably the Dispo because he has decent damage, right? Because he has the crit buffs. And then for your other hard fight, for the first half at least, so priority, the Goku Vegeta. The fusing Goku Vegeta, that is, they fuse on turn 3. Do not let them fuse. I've never seen them fuse in Tournament of Power, at least on the enemy team. You shouldn't be seeing them either, right? And then the Ultimate Gohan, those are going to be your 2 high priorities. And then it's going to be the Shin, who usually has a strike cover for someone. And then you probably go for the 18, who has generalized support / heals. You go for Kid Buu, and then Evil Buu at the end. Evil Buu is a blast cover for someone. So next you do have this fight. It actually does look somewhat annoying right here, right? So high priorities, Raditz super attack turn 1. This guy gets a super attack at turn 3. Well, he builds it up at the end of turn 2, so going into turn 3. Nappa has debuffs. This guy, he has a strike cover. Vegeta is doo-doo. You're fine. You don't have to worry about that guy, but you are going for the revival unit last, right? Because the revival. Next, you have this one. This one's an old school one, but still easily manageable right here. So you might want to save a super attack for this one, right? Just because this guy, when you blast arts him, he's going to get 100% to his special move gauge. So typically you go for him first. That way you're guaranteed to kill him before he gets it off, right? Because he has really low key restore speed. Or you can swap your entire team over to strike, or unless you're a strike-based team, you don't have to worry about him. He's a mid-priority then. So definitely just pick your poison. I typically will just go for him first with the blast-based team and just get him out of the way. The only issue with that is then this guy gets a turn 2 super attack, and he has a decent key restore speed. So just make sure your units are like way faster, right? And so you can avoid both of those things, hopefully. And then I guess another somewhat notable thing is that this yellow Bojack does have a barrier. So he's mitigating 1 attack. And so I typically just go for him last. All right, so next you have this fight right here. So you have the Bujin, right? So turn 2 stun, get him out of the way. And then you're probably going to go for the Ballsack twins right here. They do have a blast cover. I think in their kit it says strike cover, but I'm pretty sure it's an error because in PvP they have a blast cover, and I'm pretty sure it goes off of that. So I'm not sure why they would switch it around like that or what the error. They never fixed it, right? They don't care about ToP. So yeah, probably just those two. All right, so this is your next hard fight right here. So it's the Super 17 Saga. So easily the highest priorities here is going to be the red Super 17 and the purple Hellfighter 17. So Super 17, he gets a 50% chance to double attack if he goes up against a yellow unit. You don't want to bring a yellow unit to this fight. And then the purple Hellfighter, I know he's not Hellfighter. You guys have already told me before he's not the Hellfighter. It sounds cooler. It's more identifiable. I'm going to just keep going ahead and saying it. he has hella debuffs, bro. So those are the two big bads right here. I will say that this 17, he eats 1 blast arts. This 17 eats 1 blast arts. This guy has a cover rescue, and then this guy has a blast cover. And not only does this guy have a blast cover, once like one of his allies is below 30% HP, he's also debuffing the middle row. So if you can, just try to stay away from that. And that's pretty much all the fights you kind of have to worry about, at least notable units that we picked up on right here, right? Obviously, we go into more detail in the walkthrough video, so stay tuned for that. So next, we're going to be moving on to our top teams for the season. If you guys are confused by any of the icons, you are in the correct space, because this graphic that I have explains all the icons that I use in my graphics, right? So all the arrows, all the little exclamation point warning signs, all of that stuff is explained right here. Alright, so the first team we're going to talk about is the team we will be using, which is going to be event exclusive. I know a lot of you guys have been requesting me to use this team because the whole channel is free to play, right? This is a free to play team. All of you guys should have these units. Like, even if you need replacements, they're there on the graphic, but ideally you shouldn't be needing replacements for this, right? So you have 2 core units, Pui for the HPZ ability, Naval for the full board support plus heals. And he's also a boost unit. Broly is a boost unit and a debuffer. Beerus is... I actually think Beerus is a healer too. He should have the healer icon. And then you have the red 18 as another boost unit, and she's a debuffer. You have Super Saiyan 3 Goku for support. You have the yellow 18 for support plus heals. And then you have the red... is that an Omega? Is he... always... No, that's Sin. So you have the Sin Shunner on there, and he's debuffing the enemy team. So pretty good like cohesion here. All right, let's go ahead and try to get some friendship rank up on this team. Pretty much everyone needs it here. Thankfully, I do have most of these guys at friendship rank 5 because that's what some of their missions needed, right? So we do have to build up with Pui right there, and then I probably want to build up a little bit with the Beerus as well. All right, so next team is the Majin Buu Saga. So core unit, Pui, HPZ ability, right? No brainer there. And then for your boost units, you do have the blue Videl. Now, Videl is heavily strike-based, and this is a blast team. So, doomgeta has told me to inform you guys that you can go ahead and just keep her on the strike strategy rather than setting her over to blast, because it probably would still benefit her to be on the strike, right? And then you have the Z tier Deborah right there. You have the blue Tien on there, just a great unit overall. You have Ultimate Gohan. Both of those guys are going to be damage dealers. You have the Buu Han, another damage dealer. He cancels buff effects on blast arts, and then he has the chance to double attack with those blast arts, right? And then you have the Fat Buu Hercule Assist. He's a healer. And then you have the highlight unit of the team, which is the Buu Duo. And they have the Transcendent Kamehameha. Honestly, when I was using Saiyans and I used this unit, I think I used the Transcendent Kamehameha maybe like 3 or 4 times total throughout the entire ToP. It's a very good unit. They're a very fast unit. It helps out a lot, especially when you save up super attacks with them. Pretty good. Next, we have Uni Reps. This is the blast-based version, so core unit is going to be that Golden Frieza, just generalized support. He has debuffs too, and then he's also just a full board heal, which is clutch. For your Z tiers, you have the Z tier Dispo, crit damage. You have Z tier Rosie. And then on the main team, you have MP17 support. You have the Kaba support. Kaba's healing, and he's also giving you key restore speed, which is very nice. You're always going to notice yourself faster than the opponent, which is clutch. And then you have double stuns right here with the Topo and the Jiren. And then you also have a turn 1 super attacker with the Golden Frieza, which is amazing, right? So you want the Golden Frieza on the Golden Tile always, right? Because you upgrade your special move into the Ultimate Arts, and the Ultimate Arts comes with extra debuffs inflicted, which is very, very nice. And then on the flip side of that, we have the strike-based version. So you have the core unit of Bergamo, HPZ ability. And then for your boost units, you have double Z tier with the blue Champa and the purple Bergamo. And then on the main, this team can die, bro. If you run this team, like, there's no way you can. You have HPZ ability buffered. Bergamo also has like the barrier mechanic where he mitigates 1 attack, blast or strike. And then you have the purple Jiren who heals, you have Kaba who heals, and then you have the blue 18 that has like a pseudo heal. She's healing if she eliminates an opponent, but still the heal potential is there. You have a tag unit on here, and you have a turn 2 super attacker. I don't see you struggling with this team, if I'm being real honest. Next, we have Frieza Force, so another team where the Golden Friezas are definitely featured right here. Core unit is going to be the Green Golden Frieza, and then you have the Blue Revs that is also supporting / healing, which is nice, and just a revival unit in general. You'll never see the revival, but still having that on board is nice, right? And then you have your boost units of Z tier Ramon and then S tier Broly. That Broly is useful outside of being a boost unit because he has the debuffs, right? And then on the main team, you have the Ultra Frieza, who pairs extremely well with the Golden Frieza since they attack side by side. So double greens right at the start is very, very nice. You have the Golden Frieza, put him on the golden tile, upgrade his special move, inflict extra debuffs with the ultimate arts, right? Easy peasy. And then you have the double stun right here with the purple Frieza and the red Frieza. And that red Frieza just got a Zenkai, and that Zenkai made him so much like better. It's actually insane. He was already great, right? Like, he was already being ran on this team pre-Zenkai, and so now he's like definitively better. Like, sometimes you would see Jason Berger on here. This guy shits on Jason Berger, right? The only time you're going to see Jason Berger on this team is going to be when they're a boost unit over that Frieza, and even then, some of you guys are probably going to be like, I just want the Zenkai unit instead. I don't really care about the extra boost. So next we do have GT, right? So core unit is going to be, this is the blast base version. You have core unit of Super Baby 2, the definitive healer for the team. No one's ever going to replace him. RIP Baby 2. Once they delete TOP kits, I'm not sure how the GT team's going to look for TOP. But for your Z tier, you have that EX Trunks. He's kind of hard to replace, right? The only other Z tier option replacement here is that Blue Baby, and he's not bad, but he's kind of scary to use him. Plus, you're running 3 blues. It's kind of rough. And then you have the S tier yellow Majin. Majin is actually pretty decent defensively, right? Like, his damage isn't going to be crazy, but at least he has self-sustain, which is nice. And then on the main team, you have debuffs from the yellow Vegeta. You have a stun from the Spirit Bomb Kid Goku. You have debuffs from the Hellfighter 17. You have the Parasite Trunks, who's really strong against hybrid / Saiyans. And then you have Super 17, who's your main bread and butter damage, right? Anytime there's a yellow unit on board, you're going to want to bring him in because he gets a 50% chance to double attack that yellow unit, and he's building up his super attack upon hitting the yellow unit. Someone that you will see in the replacements is the Ultra Vegetas right there, right? So he definitely can be used here in place of the Super 17. It's something that maybe I want to try out in the future, but I'm not too sure if we're going to get a chance to do that. We'll see. And the next thing we got is the strike-based version. So Super Baby 2 remains as the core unit here, and you're running double Z tiers with the red Majin and the red Super Baby 2. That Super Baby 2 is garbage. Be careful about using him, right? And not to say that he's like, I probably would still use him here, or maybe I would probably use one of the S tiers if I'm being real honest with you. But that Super Baby 2, he only gets damage cut if he's against a Saiyan enemy, right? So use that to your advantage when you're bringing him in. If there's only one Saiyan on the enemy team, you kill him, there goes his cut, right? Main team, you have Ultra Gogeta 4, you have Pan, some pretty just strong units overall. You have the Tag 4s. Tag units are just incredibly valuable in this game mode. You have the turn 1 stun from the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Q, and you're getting a super attack every other fight with the red Kid Q, right? Because you're getting 50% a fight. All right, so the next thing we have is Powerful Opponent. This team is really fun. We've used it before. This team never really changed, at least the core roster, right? It's pretty much only the boost units that replace. So you have core unit Broly, HPZ ability. You have Corrupted Zamasu on there, getting super attack super duper fast, has high Q restore speed, especially once he gets hit. You have support from the Blue Goku Black. You have Garlic Jr. Protecting you from getting stunned. Has a double attack once he transforms. You have the Cell on there, he builds up super attack fast, strong against Saiyans hybrids. And then you have Ultra Rose with a turn 1 super attack. Then for your boost units, you have that Z tier Super Baby 2, only gets damage cut against Saiyans. And then you have that Blue Goku Black. Both of these boost units are very, very fragile. So if you're going to use this team, get their friendship rank up. Hopefully you have them at 14 stars already because they're super duper weak. All right, next we got hybrids. So this is the blast base version right here. You have HPZ ability Pan for core unit, and then you have double Z tiers here with the Zenkai EX Future Gohan and the Z tier purple Gohan, the kid one, right? And you actually have a good amount of replacements right here. Like, you have a Zenkai unit there, you have another EX unit, and then you have the newest EX hybrid, which is that Trunks right there, right? Pretty hard pull to have, but if you do have them, you have them at a good chunk of stars. I probably would slap him on there over the future Gohan. And then on the main team, you have Ultra Beast, phenomenal unit. You have double ultras here too, so you have the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan on there as well. And that guy's really strong because if he gets hit with a strike, he mitigates it and then gets 100% to special move gauge. Beast Gohan's pretty much getting a special move every single fight too, so you're basically going to be seeing both of their supers pretty often. And then you have the Gotenks on there, double chance, or what did I say, double chance, double attack chance. And then you have the tag units, Trunks or Grunks, whatever you want to call him, but he's also a revive unit, so kind of hard to see the revival. I think it's more important to have the tag unit anyways, rather than just, oh, now you just got a blue unit, you know what I mean? And then you also have the free-to-play blue Gohan, pretty strong against powerful opponent, and you do run him over the blue Beast Gohan. Next, we do have the strike-based version, so Pan's still here for HPZ ability, and then you have double Z tiers here too, with the purple Trunks, transforming Trunks, he's supporting the team, right? And then you have the yellow Trunks as well, free-to-play Trunks. So pretty strong right there, right? You have double Z tiers getting the 40%, and you actually have a lot of options to choose from just in case you don't want to run the double Z tiers, or if you're not confident, or maybe you don't have that free-to-play Trunks. You should though, just saying, you should have them. On the main team, you have the Fat Gotenks for the support. You have Blue Beast Gohan, amazing unit. You have the Gotenks, double attack chance, and then you have the Zenkai Trunks, which he's really OP, bro. Or maybe not like overpowered. Nah, he's really good, dude. He has buffs against powerful opponents, against Frieza Force, stuff like that. And then you also have the Sweater Trunks with another double attack chance, bro. I can't say that. I don't know why. But he's also a boost unit at S tier. And then after that, we do have the Taunthan team, right? So Taunthan, you have a core unit of Taunthan. That's the name of the game right there, right? The team's named after him. He does have the taunt mechanics, so turn 1, all enemies will aggro him. Just purely focus on him. So you do want some heals for him. That's where the purple Goten comes into place. For your boost units, you have the Z tier purple kid Gohan, and then you have the S tier green EX Goku. I've never used that guy. I'm not too sure how well he plays out in this team, but try him out. On the main team, you had the blue Beast Gohan, phenomenal unit. You had Daima Goku, good damage dealing. There's a lot of red units on here that you could use. Like the MUI Goku's good. The previously released Kaioken Goku is good on here, right? Like you have options there. Even the GT Kid Goku is good. You have the GT Pan. And then you have God Goku, who is probably the best unit on this team. He has debuffs to offer, plus the most important part is that he's getting that turn 1 super attack. So next we have the blast-based Saiyans. This is the team we ran last season, right? And it was super fun to use, super easy to use, right? Like there's a lot, I didn't even really know the entirety of the kits that I was playing with, but it just came so natural. No core unit here. You do have the Z tier Saiyan in red, and then you have the S tier Broly. He's debuffing. And then on the main team, you have the GT Vegeta for debuffs. We used him last season. He did phenomenal. Kaba did phenomenal. Support plus heals. Nappa has debuffs. We ran a 3-star or 4-star Nappa, and he didn't revive. I think he came kind of close, but he didn't revive. The Evo Ken, absolutely great, super fast unit. Pairs extremely well with the Buu Duo, another very fast unit. And then you have the Vegeta Trunks. I've never used them, but again, tag units are just generally broken in this game mode. So, and then we could swing around to the strike-based Saiyans, right? So this team, honestly, it has a lot of it's very versatile, right? Like you always see like a pretty broad range of variation from this team. Like some of the units you see time and time again, like the God Goku on there, but for the most part, I feel like there's like a range of units that are suitable for like the team for this guy, or for Saiyans at least, right? For your boost units, you have the Z tier Yellow Broly, and then you have the S tier Purple Vegeta, and that guy, he functions outside of just being a boost unit. You could run him when he's not even a boost unit, right? He's pretty solid. On the main team, you do have the Daima 4Q, basically a watered down Beast Gohan. Beast Gohan does everything he does but better, but that's not to say that the Daima 4Q is bad, right? It's kind of it's shedding good light on him. If there's a unit that comes close to Beast Gohan, they're gonna be good, and that's what this guy is. Daima 4Q or Daima Kid Q has great support for the team. MUI, you have the MUI mechanic, you have a tag unit, you have the Ultra unit on there with the yellow Goku. And then, of course, best unit here is probably still going to be the God Goku with the debuffs and the turn 1 super attack. So now let's go into Sagas from the movies. This is the strike-based version, so Goku is still very prominent. Anywhere where Goku can fit, he's going to go, essentially, if that makes sense, right? For your boost units, you have double purples, or technically you're running triple purples, but one of them is a tag unit, so it works out. So you have S tier Days. He's pretty good. I like him. And then you have the Z tier free-to-play Tapion. Having a free-to-play unit as a Z tier is pretty good, I would say, just because you're guaranteed to have them at 14 stars, or you should be guaranteed to have them at 14 stars. Plus that event's going on right now, right? The Huzzah event for the new characters, which is nice. And then on the main team, you have the double Beast Go on setup, the blue and the yellow. You have the tag unit we just said. We have the Ultra Turles, bro. A lot of you guys are not going to have that Ultra Turles. I think your best bet is probably going to be the Gamma 2, who has like some heals and stuff like that. Or the Zenkai LF Broly. You're going to have to kind of just figure that one out a little bit, right? But Turles is going to be your best option here. And then next we have the Blast-based Sagas. So core unit, Roshi, right? That's going to be your HBZ ability buffer. You have 3 S tiers with the Broly debuffer. You have Days on here. Days is primarily a strike-based unit, but for the purpose of boost, you can throw him on here. Throw him on here is just set him over the blast. He has even stats. He just favors strike, right? Like he gets strike damage in his kit, and then he gets an extra chance to strike attack. If you really don't want to make that work, you can slide on the Zenkai Turles on there if you really want. Yeah, that'll work fine. You don't have a lot of options here. That's the only thing, right? Look at your boost replacements, bro. It's cooked. It's absolutely cooked. And then you also have the S tier Ballsack twins. I forgot their names, but that's what Doom calls them. And so I guess it kind of stuck with me. On the main team, you have Pycon for debuffs plus Revive. Hopefully you see the Revive. I've never seen the Revive. Doom saw it last season, which was pretty sick for him. And then you have the Awakened Piccolo support. You have the Red Frieza again. That Red Frieza is just so goated, bro. And then again, you have the Ultra Turles, bro. You guys are probably going to struggle finding a replacement for the Ultra Turles. It's definitely doable, though. Just looking at the list right here, like, if we just single out some new units, like the Tag Gammas are a really good unit. They're really strong, right? You have the Zenkai Green Cooler, get that turn 1 stun. Even the Path to Power Goku has a chance to double attack on turn 3, which is nice. You have the Green Gogeta, who has the stun and super attack on turn 3. You have either of the Beast Gohans. Even the tag Goku / Piccolo unit is someone that we see ran on this team a lot, right? All right, so next we have girls. No core unit here. You just have a healer unit with the EX Kale down there. Boost. This team usually has a lot of boosts, right? So double Z tier boost with the Rosie, with the Red Mai. Then S tier Zenkai Bulma, S tier Zenkai 18, and then S tier Kefla. This team, this one's basically on you to know what they do. Like, sometimes every season or so, I'll read their kits and then I'll immediately forget what they do. I know, like, the Red Mai, she's like helping build up like Super Gauge. I think a couple of them actually do that, at least to themselves, maybe. Blue Bulma is like canceling all buff effects, which is pretty nice. She's pretty much a staple on this team. But yeah, if you're gonna run this team, you better know the ins and outs of it. Like, you better have it down to a science. You better know like exactly where your key recovery is going to lie at, so you can pinpoint exactly where your blue units are attacking, your red units, all that good stuff, right? This is not necessarily an easy team to use. This isn't a team I would recommend to someone with a fresh start on Dragon Ball Legends. So next we have DB Saga, or Dragon Ball Team, whatever you want to call it. Core unit, Master Roshi, right? HP Z ability buffer. You have a good amount of boost here. You have the Z tier Roshi, S tier Tambourine, and S tier Blue Bulma. You have Zenkai Launch on here, Junior, and you have DKP for the debuffs. Path to Power Goku does have the chance to double attack, just a very like hard-hitting unit, right? I'm going to use this team before they delete all the ToP kits, so I would probably prepare for that right now. Probably going to use it next season. I don't know how many seasons we have left with the current ToP kits, but I want to use this team. And last but not least, we have the androids right here, right? So core unit is that Yellow Cell HBZ ability plus a healer. He's always on this team, right? So he's a core unit. You have S tier Yellow Cell down there on the main team. He is a supporter. You have the S tier Red 18, who's the debuffer, and then you have the Zenkai 17, who has the barrier mechanic. Doesn't really do much outside of that, but still solid boost unit overall, right? You have MVP 17 support, you have debuffs from the Legends Limited Purple Cell, you have just really good damage overall and self-sustain from the Green Zenkai Cell, and then you have your Ultra Cell, which is going to be your best unit on the team right there. This dude's also helping the super gauges of your whole team. Phenomenal unit. That being said, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the teams. I think the only team that got omitted this season was LOE, and there's good reason for that too, because if we take a peek at their Z tiers, this is what they have. So this guy is usable, right? I've used this guy before, he's fine. And then so it's like, okay, we got our Z tier, and then let's look at our S tiers. Bruh, there's 2 units. So yeah, we're not really gonna do a team on LOE. I mean, it is, again, it's doable if you really wanted to do an LOE team with the Z tier second form Frieza and then this guy right here. Kudos to you. I don't think that's worth, to be honest with you. You might as well just go into Frieza Force, bro. Like you're gonna have a better Frieza Force team. Now let's go for the final segment, the new units, right? So let's go for Zenkai Cooler right here. I do not have him available to Zenkai because I only have him at 6 stars. So let's see what his stats look like. Let's do maximum stats right here for ToP. Doom told me it's not a big difference. So started the battle, 80% to damage inflicted, 30% cut, 20% to crit rate, 70 to key recovery. On strike arts attack, you restore ally health by 2%. That's actually pretty solid. Right? Or restores own health. Sorry, I don't know why I said ally. Thank you. He gets 20% to strike damage, activates twice, 5% to crit, 30% to key recovery, which is really good actually. 10% to special move gauge charge rate. See, that would have been fire if it was just straight to special move gauge. Has the strike cover at 30% health gate. End of turn, own health is 70% or below. He activates his green. And then on green activation, he gets another 20% to damage inflicted, 5% to damage cut, 20% to crit rate, and special move art. See, I mean, he's just a damage dealer. He's still good. Don't get me wrong. Like, we were using him before Zenkai, and so he's probably still going to be used post Zenkai. But right now, the top tier red Zenkai unit for LOE is the DBS Frieza. And then last but not least, we have this Ultra Vegeta right here. So let's take a look at some of his stuff. Some maximum stats right here. Key restore speed is freaking low as hell, 2,298. I guess that kind of pairs well with 17, right? My 17 actually attacked pretty slow when I used GT a while ago. So it does have the blue card and the ultimate. At the start of the battle, 100% to damage inflicted, 20% to blast damage, minus 15% to damage received, 30% to key recovery. That's where it's at right there. And then that's his debuff range, which is just a vertical line. On special move or ultimate arts activation, you get 30% damage, 10% to cut, and another 30% to key recovery on special move or ultimate. So you want to just be popping supers with this guy. Like, that's already like half this first ability is reliant on him using that. You inflict attribute downgrades, 20% damage received, 30% to health, minus 30% to health restoration, minus 30% to key recovery, and minus 30% to special move gauge. Has a blast cover that's health gated by 50%, which is actually pretty nice, and it's a big range too. After receiving an attack, you restore your health by 2%, 20% to special move gauge, so you want him to get hit, and then you cancel attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. At the start of the first turn, you activate a green card, you get 30% to crit rate, and then another 20% to crit damage inflicted. And at the start of turn, if there is a defeated ally, see, that's buns, bro. I hate when they give units this ability, bro, because it's like more so. I mean, I guess it don't matter, bro. This is all gonna get deleted, bro. None of it matters. 50% to special move gauge, and then you upgrade it as well. Ultra ability, you get 5% to special move gauge. Start of the battle per GT, you get 5% to special move to damage inflicted, 5% to key recovery. And every time an ally is defeated, 15% to damage inflicted, 15% to key recovery. And this guy can fit on strike teams too, because the stat spread isn't absurdly like egregious, right? Like, it's not like an insane difference, you know what I mean? But he does get a little bit extra damage for blast damage right there, and then his Z ability is more so blast based. So again, you could force him on the strike team. He's just gonna work better on a blast team. And that's going to wrap it up for this season's guide video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later!